Number 3 issue, the issue of INEC. You know, make we not create alternate reality for ourselves. Peter Obi win 95%, if not 98% of votes in Anambra State. Now the same INEC publisher, you agree? The same thing for Abia State, 90-something% of votes, you agree? Imo State, you agree? Edo State, you agree? Delta, you agree? The same INEC. Benue State, you agree? Plateau State, you agree? Make I dey count am. All these places. Abuja, you agree? No be the INEC when release that result when you agree to. No being release the result of Bauchi. No being release the result of Gombe. No being release the result of Kano, Kaduna. Zamfara. No be then release them. Now you talk about issues such as, make we do one like this. Voter repression. It happened. The answer is yes. Voter repression, stopping people from vote. It happened in Lagos. It happened in Rivers State. I will not come here and tell you that it did not happen. These two things were isolated to these two particular states, Rivers and Lagos State. Now the question is this. The entire vote of this state, there is no way you can tell me that the whole of Rivers State will vote only for Peter Obi. Now, for argument's sake, I would take 300,000 votes in Lagos from Tinubu. I would take 300,000 votes from Rivers State. That is 600,000. I would give 30% of that vote to Atiku. I think, am I making some sense here? Then the remaining 70%, I will give it to Peter Obi. That means I think Atiku, off my head, mathematics, Atiku gets 180,000 votes because 10% of 600 is 60 times 3, 180. Then that 600,000, the 600,000 that we are talking now, you take out 180. If you take out 180 from 600,000, it should be 420. I carry 420,000 for the sake of restriction of vote to join and to Peter Obi vote. Peter Obi still comes third, distant third. I have asked us many questions in this platform. Those of you in the north that are coming here causing confusion up and down the place, let me ask us a question. Simple question. Those of us in the north, una deliver on a polling unit. How many polling units did you deliver in the north? The polling units that were delivered in the north to Peter Obi, the numbers are insignificant. Make we dey take am easy. Peter Obi no win this election. He no win am. Make I agree say Peter Obi perform very well. Now second Peter Obi carry. Now second. If you want put on like that, now second. Because all these votes begin to minus them. Lagos, Rivers State, Tinubu go still come first. You know why? Tinubu now 2-point-something million votes into pass Peter Obi. 2-point-something million. Before we will come begin the talk of say, okay, make Peter Obi come jump Atiku for second position. Nigerians, make we take am easy now. Why are we causing problems in our country by ourselves when we know that what really made us to lose this election was the division of vote as a result of the arrogance and greed of Atiku, who refused to step down as a godfather for Kwankwanso and Peter Obi and support the two of them to run a package, let him be a corridor politician on their behalf. That is what caused this loss. At the end of the day, what happened? Peter Obi, Atiku, and Kwankwanso shared opposition vote. That is how we lost. I'm going to put a picture here after this. I want you people to look at this picture very well. Listen, look at this photo very, very well. Sleep and meditate on it. If you are truly honest to yourself, a lot of things that you people are saying here, you will stop saying it. Let us use honesty to follow each other. We know win Fadden, according to Nkemo. We know win Fadden, we know win. Ma win here, you know win anything. Nigerians, let's stop all this emotional rambling and ramblings from ignorance. Let's stop it. Cool mind. Use cool mind to follow this thing. Listen, off your phone. Carry your laptop or your tablet. Begin to do research. Begin to look at things. Go and research old cases in Nigeria. You will see that all the issues that the court bench talked about in this ruling, they are issues that were already handled in the past. As a matter of fact, there is no reason for Peter Obi and Atiku to even go to court and start talking about 25%, talking about Tinubu criminal record and all those. There is absolutely no need. All they had to do was to prove, okay, fine, the rig election against you. How many votes? Where? How many votes? Delta State, is it 20? You should be specific. I told you Peter Obi does not have any evidence. You did not agree. All the evidence that Peter Obi brought in court, what were the evidence that Peter Obi brought to court? He brought certified copies that INEC gave him of result. What is the difference between the things that are inside that chin and puff plastic that Peter Obi brought and what is on the server? Is it not the same thing? You can't call that evidence. Evidence has to be, what did your polling agent screenshot and send to your portal? Because you had polling agents all over the place. They were screenshotting and sending things into your portal. That is what you should print and show them. You are bringing, according to the judge, you are bringing to the court certified true copies of INEC results that was given to you. In other words, you are coming to court to confirm to us that what INEC gave to you is the right result, because you did not even circle anything to say, okay, XYZ is not correct. This place is not correct. That one is 13, it's supposed to be 31. That one is 200, it's supposed to be 2,000. You didn't do anything. You just carried documents that INEC stamped and gave to you and just come and dump it in chin and puff plastic. Nigerians, make una take am easy. Make una take am easy. It is well, the fact that you have lost trust of the system of governance or public institutions in your country or any other country does not stop you from having the capacity to conduct your own independent investigation, void of the influence of anybody, including me. Just go and investigate on your own without interference. Put things in front of you. Do checks and balances. I'm telling you, the result you will come out with, some things that you have said in this platform, you will apologize. God bless you all. My name is Adelaja Onogure. I say it again, Peter Obi did not win the 2023 presidential election. When I know say my mouth to the smell, I investigated it deeply. Let us stop coming to play emotional games on social media, confusing Nigerians. It's time for us to move on. Even the Supreme Court is going to throw the case. Mark my words, because the judgment that was passed out in this case was actually passed out by the Supreme Court. Why? Because everything that the judges were quoting were sentences that were previously passed down by the Supreme Court. So there's nothing we are going to Supreme Court to do. It's time to prepare for another election, and it's time for Labour Party to start preparing to invade the North, so that the kind of veracity they had in Southeast, South, it will be in the North. Otherwise, listen and listen good. 2023, 2027, I beg your pardon, I'm not going to vote for Labour Party. I will return back to PDP. I'll vote for PDP in 2027. Or better still, if Tinubu performs, I will give him a second tenure vote. Now me talk am. Hezekiah Okiowena Onogure is my name. God bless you. Good afternoon. Having got that out of the way, I just wanted to respond to the whole judicial judgment. I've gone through a lot of things. I've been laughing. You have insulted each other. You have shouted each other down. Some have spoken factually. Some have spoken from their emotions. Some have spoken from their pain. And I understand all these things. As human beings, loss is not encoded in our DNA. It's not in the nature of human beings. Loss is something we meet along the way. That is why to handle loss is difficult for human beings. One. Number two, I told us here before the election that Peter Obi cannot win. He cannot win. Before you stop this audio, listen carefully. When the results were fast coming, I saw the way things were going. My first response after it was announced that Tinubu won this election, I said the rigam. Underline that word, first response. I'm going to do a couple of audios. First response. Now understand that first response is not always correct. After about 24 hours, I told myself, I said, Hezekiah Okiogeda Onoguri, you are not known to react like this. Wait for uploads of results to be completed. Do your investigation first and know what next. I checked my own results from Nigeria. My polling station, I checked it. It was there on IREV. My parents sent me results, my siblings, friends around Nigeria, people in UPN, they were checking, they were sending me, they say, Pastor, you know about this whole computer thing very well, you know, technology thing. Now, Nasabi search, I beg check whether they upload this. And I was checking, I was seeing them. And I will not lie to you. There are some, for 2 days, I did not see on the IREV portal. But after like 48 hours, I checked it, I saw it, the same thing was there. For somebody like myself that is a bit technically sound, I say these things are just glitches, delay in going live. It does not mean it was not uploaded. The system was simply overwhelmed. Having said that, many of you will not agree to what I want to tell you now. I'm just only repeating myself. There is nothing I want to say now that I've not said before. Peter Obi no win any election. He no win. Before this election, I told us Peter Obi cannot win. I use the word cannot. And I told us, as opposition people, the closest thing to winning an election for us will be PDP. The closest thing. And I got it right. They came second. Now listen, hush, 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 before you say the president was selected. There was nothing like selection of president. You see, our problem as Nigerians is, it's very easy for us to talk truth. But when it's time for us to talk the truth, we will know the truth simply because we are on social media faceless. We'll be lying and leading ourselves astray. All of us here know. March 2022, Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso left PDP. 11 months to election. Rabiu Musa Kwankwanso is not Hezekiah Onoguri. He's a giant in Nigerian politics in PDP. I think it was May 2022. Peter Obi also left the same PDP. 9 months to election. Peter Obi is not a small child in Nigerian politics. At least after 2019 election, he has established himself as a national face. He left 9 months to election. Atiku remained. Let me ask you people one thing. What do you think will happen? So you really believe that the people of Atiku Abubakar, his die-hard followers, will leave Atiku and follow Peter Obi? You really believe that the majority die-hard followers, Kwankwansia movement, the people that you can say in more ways than one that they actually control Kano politics, they will follow Peter Obi and leave Kwankwanso alone? My people, take on a tongue, take count on a teeth. Peter Obi no win any election. It only seems so. Seems so does not mean it is so. Now, we talk about the judgments that were passed down by the electoral tribunal, by the judges. We talk about the judgment. Many of us are crying foul. Listen and listen good. Many of us are here. We don't really listen to the judgment. The only thing that we heard was that Peter Obi, they say he no win, na Tinubu win. Those ones when you listen to, some of you did not read the report that has been released, the official report, because what they did was read it to us. I think 739 pages. I will not come here and lie to you and tell you that I've read it. I didn't read it. But I know that what is in that document is just copies of what was said in that tribunal. That's why it took about 12 hours for the judges to take turns reading it. All the things that these judges stated. Abuja 25%. Did I not tell you people that Abuja is just a 37 state? How did I know? In law, there is what you call precedence. Some of these issues have been handled in different cases in the past. I can cite some example. In my state of Delta State, 25% of Abuja has been handled before. 2013 litigation, Uduaghan versus Oboru, or Oboru versus Uduaghan, whichever way it is in the Nigerian law books. It has been handled before. Go back to 2003, Buhari versus Obasanjo. 25% of Nigeria also came up in that particular case. It was handled. And in all these cases, it was settled. It was settled that the federal capital is just a 37th state. The word "and" in the constitution is just a conjunction to join sentences together. I was listening to an interview recently. I think it was 24 hours ago. I was listening to an interview. Olu Adeborua, senior advocate of Nigeria, he said something that within the legal community, none of them are shocked at the judgment of the tribunal. None of them. Because the precedents to these matters have always existed. Them as lawyers, they are professionals. Yes, even this Olu Adeborua, senior advocate of Nigeria, if you tell him to go and represent Peter Obi now, he is a professional lawyer. He will take the case, even he knows that Peter Obi will not win. It's called law. Law is a business. They know it did not come as a shock to any of them. That was what he said, that the legal community who are in the know of how these things work, it did not come as a shock. He even said that even Peter Obi's lawyers, it does not come as a shock to them. They only tried their best, but they know that they were just chasing a brick wall because there has been previous judgment on these issues. This audio is long. I will respond in the next audio. I will respond in the next audio on the issue of Bat's criminal issue in America, the drug issue. And I told you people that thing will not stand in a court of law. It will not stand. I will explain it in the next audio. Nigeria, I'm going to take them easy. Peter Obi no win election. Now divided vote. Divided vote. Like cause this loss. Atiku, Obi, Kwankwanso, the divide vote of PDP. Then a little bit of people when they say cross carpet from APC. Either vote for Atiku, Peter Obi, or Kwankwanso, depend on how they decided to vote, because now personal thing. You know they inside pulling votes with people. Okay? I go address two issues. Bat criminal record and INEC in two more audios. Before I go to the issue of INEC, we'll talk about issues of Tinubu drug-related issue. I told all of you here that thing cannot stand. And many of you did not care to ask me, Hezekiah Onogure, why are you saying that this thing cannot stand in a court of law? Law is not something you dabble and play around with on social media and discuss it like it is a child's play. Look, in the law, there is what they call statute of limitation. Statute of limitation varies in a lot of things, in so many areas. The documents that was released concerning BAT, the drug-related issue. BAT, that thing cannot survive any court of law in the whole world. In the whole world. This is the reason. Statute, what is the statute of limitation of criminal records, petty crime, petty drug dealing and all that in America? It's 10 years. Now, when you talk about statute of limitation, like I always explain, I explain it in pidgin English, so that even mama in the village, papa in the village, should this audio get to them, they will understand it. Now, see statute of limitation. Okay, BAT, pay fine. He forfeit some money. Now, for America, 10 years, now be their statute of limitation, if memory serves me well. Now, 10 years. What does it mean? Waiting be the validity of this document going forward. In Nigeria, statute of limitation are also 10 years. South Africa here, when I did, statute of limitation used to be 5 years on criminal records, but now they don't change them to 10 years. Now understand, to every rule there is an exemption. This statute of limitation, it no involve cases that are related to things such as terrorism, mass murder, mass rape, you know, those kind of crimes. Those ones now unforgivable crime. You know, relate to them. But what Tinubu did, there's a statute of limitation to it in America. You commit a crime, you paid your fine. After paying your fine, or you went to jail, you serve your sentence. For example, they say, okay, for argument's sake, they give you 1 month jail sentence. You go serve that jail, you come back. Or you pay your fine, you come back. From the day you either served that jail or pay the fine and come out, they will count 10 years for you. In 10 years, if you are not a repeat offender, a repeat criminal, what they will do? Government na our papa, government na our mama. It just be like papa and pikin. Your pikin thief your money as a parent for house when they grow up. Hezekiah Onuguri, Hezekiah, you thief my money. You think God will punish you? God, but as a parent, as you don't curse am, insult and slap and beat and finish, you go come pull Hezekiah Onuguri, come back with your left hand, say na my pikin. 10 years, you no commit offense again. They go lock that criminal record. They go delete them. It will be expunged. It is done all over the world, including Nigeria. Even in the most corrupt countries in the world, it is done. Every country get their own statute of limitation, number of years, etc., on this matter. Like I said, here in South Africa, it used to be 5 years. Recently, they increased it to 10 because people were now starting to abuse it. In America, it's 10. Now, they go come lock that record. What does this mean? When you go and check on the system, does this person have a criminal record? It will not show. It will never ever show. Have you asked yourself, when you are filling a form for visa to certain countries, they go ask you for inside the form, do you have any pending criminal cases inside the form, or has any judgment been passed to you in the last 5 years? Now understand this, those countries where they say last 5 years, their statute of limitation are 5 years, in the last 5 years. So anything where you don't do before the last 5 years, they don't consider them. They considered you to have been reformed. Now what did they call prison service? They call them correctional services. That document of Tinubu no go fit stand for any court of law, because the statute of limitation is long overdue. It's more than 30 years. I will draw your attention. There is a letter when Tafa Balogun was still Inspector General of Police, I think in 2003, while Tinubu was engaged in gubernatorial issues in Lagos State. The Inspector General of Police of Nigeria wrote a letter to the Embassy of the United States of America. I have that letter on my phone. I still have it till today. To check, because this issue of drug case came back out in 2003. If Tinubu has a pending criminal record or maybe a judgment in America, the American embassy sent a radio to the FBI, the highest authority of criminal records in America, and they came back and said, no, there is no record. Why? That thing has been sealed. The statute of limitation of that thing is long expired. It's long expired. Now, as a matter of fact, if the United States of America decide that they want to follow up with that issue of that Tinubu document, listen, the person who leaked that document will be jailed, because that person committed a crime. You broke into a server where they keep sealed record, brought it out and shared it to the public. It's a criminal offense. That person will be jailed. If you not take time, say America fit jail am 25 years, if not even more. Why? What that person has done, if it goes into the American public domain, it can make the American people lose trust of their public and criminal system. So documents that are sealed, people can just bring them out and start throwing them around all over the place. They go jail the person. That Tinubu case, it no get validity for any court in the world, because as far as the world is concerned, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even if truly he did that, he has been reformed, because in the past 30 years he has no case, he has no warrant, nothing concerning that particular issue in United States of America. Make una try, make una dey understand this thing. But when I talk, pastor to the talk, okay to the talk, Hezekiah to the talk, Onoguri to the talk, to the talk. My people, carry your mind, calm down. That thing no get any courtroom validity anywhere for this world, because the statute of limitation is long expired. Number 3, I will handle our neck issue and I will rest. I don't have time to begin to change words with anybody. Believe whatever you want to believe, but Peter Obi never won the 2023 presidential election.